Well done. Thank God you're all back in one piece. Who's this?
These are my parents, mother, father. This is Lord and Lady Grantham. Lady Mary you already know. Lord Gillingham, Mabel Lane Fox, Charles Blake, and, of course, Rose.
Lady Rose, how lovely to see you again. Why don't you all come back to the house to bathe and change?
I'm going to leave it until we get back to Downton, but thank you.
I can't tempt you to stay for dinner.
Not today, when we're covered in dust. Why don't you all come to Downton tomorrow for dinner?
That seems rather an imposition.
Not at all.
They may be delighted.
You haven't met my mother-in-law and our cousin, Mrs. Crawley.
Good afternoon.
If the parents of Rose's young man are coming for dinner, things must be more advanced than I realised.
Are you enjoying Yorkshire?
Well, first, we and Yorkshire have to get used to each other.
But you haven't come up against too many impassable barriers.
Lord Grantham, we both know what we're up against. Happily, we're used to it.
Well, you won't have any trouble with us. Lady Grantham's father was Jewish.
That isn't always a guarantee of tolerance, so it's a relief to hear you say it. Atticus seems to be very taken with your niece. And I must say, I find her quite charming.
Does Lord Sinderby approve?
Well, you know, he needs time to settle into things. We must go, but it's been such fun. I hope you'll come to us next time.
We should love it. I suppose now we just have to wait and see what happens.
There's no need to hurry them to anything. They're both very young.
Well, I would be delighted if something were to come of it. Good night, Lady Grantham. Lady Rosamond.
Golly, what an evening. We won't forget it in a hurry.
Let us remember it for two reasons. One bad, one good.
Oh, what's the good one?
I hope it is good.
I'm listening.
See, the thing is, it occurs to me that we're already having to defend ourselves.
Yes.
So let's have a real reason to. That is, if you feel equal to it.
I'm not going to give you an answer until you say it properly.
Do I have to kneel down?
Of course. But you don't have to stay kneeling for very long.
Rose. Darling Rose. Will you marry me?
Oh, you can get up now.
Come on, will you?
We ought to be serious. The truth is that we haven't known each other very long. And they're right, that there are bound to be problems.
The way I see it, we both know we're going to get married in the end. We know we're right together.
Yes, I suppose we do.
That's all I need to hear. I'll telephone tomorrow and we'll settle who tells what to whom and when.
Oh, darling.
Lord and Lady Sinderby and Mr. Atticus Aldridge.
Do come in. How lovely to see you.
Lady Sinderby, Lord Sinderby, welcome.
Daddy, Mummy, this is Atticus.
How do you do?
What a peculiar name.
Where is it? What made you choose Yorkshire? Was it a historic reason?
Not really. I used to go there as a girl, and of course, it's beautiful.
Do you have any English blood?
It's true we only date from the 1850s, but Lady Sinderby's family arrived in the reign of King Richard III.
Really? I always think of you as nomads drifting around the world.
Talking of drifting around, is it true you're starting your honeymoon at the Melfords in Coningsby?
Oh, yes. Lady Melford is mother's cousin.
Is she? I never knew that.
I gather you wanted a synagogue blessing.
I'd like to respect both sides.
Well, you don't understand our customs. Then again, why should you?
So it won't be possible?
No. He should have told you.
I thought we could have a dinner on Wednesday night for all of you. So you could meet some of the relations.
And show them how lucky they are. Have you got many of them staying?
We're crammed to the gunnels. Atticus has had to move into the Hornby Hotel.
I love the Hornby.
It makes sense, and he can have his... What do they call it now? His stag party there, without disturbing us.
Will you be going, Lord Sinderby?
Hardly. Stag parties are rather high on Father's disapproval list.
Is it a long list, Lord Sinderby? The things you disapprove of?
No. As long as I can steer clear of card sharps and undercooked fish. And divorce. I think I'm fairly easy.
Is divorce so terrible these days? Is it worse to stay together and be miserable?
Well, I'm clearly old-fashioned, but to me, divorce signifies weakness, degradation, scandal, failure.
Are you glad to be in London again?
I will be when I get the house back.
When do the tenants go?
Next week, in theory. I need to pull the real pictures out of storage.
What a palaver.
I know, but think of the relief when I can shut the door at last and be alone in my own home.
Won't Lord Flintshire be in there with you?
Of course he will.
Of course I will. What a funny thing to say, Susan.
Well, funny is one word for it.
Well, I want you to know that you'll always be welcome at Canningford.
How kind. Tell me, do you find it difficult these days to get staff?
Not very. But then we're Jewish, so we pay well.
I dare say this is a first for you, Granny, to sample the joys of the registry office.
Then you'd be quite wrong. No, in 1878, I attended the wedding of Lord Braesbury and Hannah Rothschild. It was held in the Board of Guardians, very much the same.
Seems almost sad in a way.
But in marrying a Rothschild, there are certain compensations.
Is Lady Flintshire all right?
Cora, would you go and help Susan? Look, she seems in rather a queer way.
There is something that you must know, and I feel most uncomfortable not having told you before now.
You don't want any deathbed confessions, Susan. Remember, this is not your day.
I'm sorry, Aunt Violet, I think it's time. In fact, it's long overdue.
What is?
No, please.
Shrimpy and I are in the process of getting a divorce.
What?
I'm afraid it is going to be all over the papers, and as things stand, it must involve you and your family.
God,
Thank you, Lady Flintshire. Or may I call you Susan? We are forewarned, and so now we will be forearmed.
you can't mean
Father,
we're just
please,
going
I
to go
beg
on
you.
with
If you do anything to stop this marriage, anything at all, I will leave you. And then you will have a scandal worthy of the name.
Oh, I doubt you expected to take your beloved child through the portals of Caxton Hall Registry Office.
There are lots of things in my life I never anticipated. But if you're sure, I'm sure.
By the way, Atticus was blameless. I'm ashamed now that I wobbled.
I know he was blameless.
How can you know?
Well, I do. Beyond a trace of doubt.
Who did my enemy turn out to be?
Never mind about that. You don't know him. Not properly.
Then I don't want to know. I don't want to hate anyone today. You do realize this is my real wedding?
Not the blessing this afternoon.
This is where I've become his wife.
And I hope you will be very, very happy. My dearest darling.
I don't believe it. Is that it? Am I just expected to be a good loser?
It's too late for that, my dear. Far too late.
Please stand.
Absolutely.
So, if you
Rachel,
like. Yes?
you with me?
No, I think I'll chum Tom for this drive. Mary can keep you company.
As you wish.
I'm so sorry. Did you shoot as a boy?
I used to shoot pigeons on my grandfather's farm.
Pigeons are very difficult.
Thank you.
Was it hard, joining their family?
Hard enough. Sybil was dead, and I had to do it on my own.
They seem much more welcoming than we are.
I was still a shock to the system.